Hi everyone, I am Navneet Maan and I have secured All India rank 33 in the Civil Services examination of 2019. And a fun fact as well, for 4 years my college roll number was also 33. And so अगर कोई पूछते हैं कि बेटा आपकी क्या रैंक आई, so I end up blurting out roll number 33. So, given that this is a monologue, I would try to keep it light and breezy for all of your convenience. So, in this video, my purpose is to discuss some basic issues which I too faced while preparing for this exam. These are with respect to answer writing, note making, newspaper पढ़ें तो फिर notes बनाएं कि नहीं, how to tackle current affairs, etc. And I think before I begin, I'll give a disclaimer of sorts. So when we all start preparing for UPSC, same case for me, we all watch topper videos. And they are a source of inspiration for us, and of course some topper tips as well. But I would give a suggestion that when you watch topper videos, you should probably not take everything they say on the face value. See, the problem is that all of us have come from various walks of life. We have different experiences and we have different capabilities, different strengths and weaknesses. So in that respect, आप बहुत सारी topper videos देखिए. Every topper will give you 10-20 suggestions. आपको सब by heart diligently follow करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. आप देखिए which topper की जो capabilities हैं या strengths and weaknesses matches yours. And उसके हिसाब से you derive your own strategy. So the crux of the matter is that आप सुनिए सबकी, लेकिन आप करिए अपनी. And after this, I'll give probably a brief background about myself. My hometown is in Amritsar, Punjab, and however, I did my schooling and my graduation in college from Delhi. I completed my graduation in BTech Computer Sciences from Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University for Women in 2017. Now, in all this, how did CSC come up? Now, CSC or becoming a DC was never my childhood dream. And I would say that for the longest time I remember, it was probably to become an astronaut. So, given that I had always a good orientation towards sciences, specifically PCM, so I took up PCM in my 11th and 12th standard, and I was never oriented towards humanities. When I entered college, I saw a lot of things, and then I probably realized that A, I'm not going to do an MTech, and B, that I'm not going to go outside India. So the purpose was that कि अब इंडिया में ही रहना है और यहाँ पे कुछ करना है. So the go-to option for me was to do an MBA. But then I realized, probably by the end of the second year of my college, that probably I'm going to work for 10-15 years in the private sector and I will probably earn much better. But then what? So जैसे हर एस्पिरेंट की यही मोटिवेशन होती है, मेरी भी यही मोटिवेशन थी that beyond that monetary compensation that you are able to afford all your luxuries of life, I was driven by something else. And when I read about civil services by the end of the second year of my college, I was actually inclined to it. So that is when I started preparing for this examination, and this was from a very, very fresh and clean slate. That is, I was not in touch with any of the humanities subject, and that is very much for sure. And in third and fourth year, I went for preparing for this exam all along with the college. I faced issues time management ke, because the fields are pretty much different, but somehow I managed and gave my first attempt in 2017 itself when I completed my graduation. By a little bit of my hard work and probably more from God's grace, I was selected that year. I got a rank of 501, and then I entered into the Indian Defence Account Services, for which I am undergoing training at present. But then in 2018, I had a sort of realization that even though I've somehow cleared this exam, but I knew the reality of it. I think the cutoff was for the final around 1006 marks, yeah. And my marks were just 3 marks above the cutoff, 1009. And I knew that if for instance in the interview I would have got 8 to 10 marks less, I wouldn't have been anywhere in the list. So deep down I knew that even if I appear in the mains of 2018, from a rank of 500, I could probably get a rank of 300. It wouldn't have made any sense for me because there wouldn't have been any sort of service upgrade. So I took a break of around 7 to 8 months to make my fundamentals clear, which were lacking in prelims as well as in mains. And it was at this time I joined Forum IAS. I was associated with 2 programs of theirs. One was the MGP series, and the second was the prelim simulator tests. And I gave all the 8 tests of the prelim simulator series, and I'm not advertising them, but to be very, very certain about it, in the final mains of 2019, I could actually spot 2 to 3 questions lifted from that test. It was probably a matter of probability or chance, but it gave me an edge of at least 2 to 3 questions. Then I gave my second attempt this year in 2019, and here it goes. So after a not so brief background about me, I would think let's dive into what I did in this attempt, which made it starkly better than the first attempt. So I would begin, I think, with the preparation or the strategy. So every year, every topper says कि आप अपनी strategy बनाइए, timetable बनाइए, make a plan. The question is, what is the purpose of this? See, this exam is not just एक exam दे दिया and then it's finished. You need a few months prep as well, and around 9 to 10 months are devoted just to give the exam. So it is a very, very long drawn process, like a marathon. So in such an exam in which you have to have a very long-term journey, so उसमें planning and timetables become a must. Because अगर आप timetable नहीं बनाएंगे ना, तो फिर after every second day you will feel lost. So timetable and creating a plan or a strategy helps you to keep track कि अच्छा मेरा ये काम हो गया है and this portion is left, and it helps you keep yourself on track. At the same time आपको motivation भी मिलती है कि इतना हो गया, इतना रहता है, finally कर लेंगे. So I would suggest every aspirant to go for making I think 2-month, 3-month plan. Then out of those 2-3 months आप अपना monthly plan भी बनाइए, weekly plan भी बनाइए, and try to follow it. ऐसा नहीं है कि 90% efficiency और 100% चाहिए requirement बिल्कुल follow करने की. If you can do it by 70-75%, I think it will be fine. Same case for me as well. Now planning and strategy के साथ I would suggest कि जो आप mains की planning and strategy करते हैं, वो that is a must. अगर prelim से पहले एक दो weeks का ऊपर नीचे हो जाए, then it's fine. But in the time gap between, I think around a little more than 3 months between pre and mains, you have around 3 months. In that, you have to utilize every single day very, very effectively. And for that, you cannot and you can never ignore making a plan. So I'll probably give a brief of what I did. This time, I followed the same plan as last time as well, because it suited me very nicely. So I'll share it. So my plan was, our prelim was in June start. I think it was June 2. And our mains was in September, on September 20. It started on 20th September. So my plan was to do it in 3 phases. The phase 1 was the one in which I had to complete the first round of syllabus in June, July, and देश की आज़ादी के दिन तक, August 15. In this, I'll complete the entire syllabus, all GS, all my optional, that was political science. And then the second phase was when I would go for a re-revision. This was from August 16. I'll think probably the first week of September till September 5 or 6. And then the third phase was the quickest revisions which is possible. That is from September 6-7 till September 19. So this was my plan. I would do the first round in I think around 75 days. Then in almost a little over 3 weeks, I'll do the revision, and I'll do the second revision in about I think in about 10 days, a little more than 10 days or so. Because in mains, I think everyone have their different ways of processing their memory. In my case, I have a long-term memory, but at the same time, I require that access of short-term memory as well. And therefore, in my case, the short-term and the last-minute revision is necessary. And therefore, I almost followed this with a lot of efficiency, even though before pre, kabhi ek week miss ho jata tha, kabhi nahi hota tha. But this was a timetable which I have strictly followed always. Now, after preparation and strategy, I think main kaam padhne ka hi hota hai. So, I'll begin by discussing the importance of the syllabus. So, this will probably sound the most cliched thing, and I too feel it the very same way. But syllabus याद करने के beyond, you don't have any other option. It is not just the most, this is not very original, and this is not definitely overrated. Syllabus याद करना ही है, क्योंकि उसका एक सबसे बड़ी utility that I feel is that many say UPSC का जो syllabus है, it is very very open ended and everything under the sun is asked in the exam. But I feel ये जो syllabus है ना, it acts as your, कहते हैं ना घोड़े की लगाम, it acts as your लगाम. So whenever you try to cross that line, मतलब न्यूज़पेपर का एक एक्स्ट्रा एडिटोरियल पढ़ लिया या कोई पोर्टल पे जाके कुछ एक्स्ट्रा सर्व कर लिया, always try to remind yourself of your syllabus. और अगर आप syllabus के साथ साथ जोड़ के पढ़ेंगे, then you will never read extra and you will always read the pertinent stuff, right? So after the syllabus, I think the next natural thing to discuss is about the sources. Now again, my sources were not definitely original or something very exclusive. I refer to the very same old humble books, Lakshmikant, Shankar IAS, NCRTs, etc. But along with that, I would mention one more thing as well, that is about restricting your resources. Now in this exam, you have more than 10 different subjects. And for all those subjects, you have your notes, books, etc., etc. So you probably can never afford to read a lot of books. A lot of things are happening around you, and you cannot afford to mug up everything. Because at the end of the day, आपको याद करने का तो तभी फायदा है अगर आप एग्जाम में उस दिन जाके लिख दोगे. So I always used to do that cost-benefit analysis. That अगर मैं कोई एक नया concept पढ़ रही हूँ, would I have that capability to go and write that thing on the day of the examination? ठीक है? And then I would personally suggest that instead of reading an extra book on polity beyond Lakshmikant, you should probably devote much time on studying neglected topics like society in GS1 or security issues, for instance, in GS3. They would be much more beneficial to you. And of course, एक दो extra resources refer करने पड़ते हैं. वो भी I was very selective and picky in choosing them. I think it was second ARC report. I did just the portion related to the governance. That is a very bulky report, I think, and that chapter is around 200 pages long. I didn't refer to that. The coaching people provide a 40 to 50 page summary. I read that summary, created my own summary of 7 to 8 pages from that. Then secondly, Niti Aayog has also come up with that state best practices report. It can help you in topics like governance, economics, etc. So I created a 2-3 page summary of that as well. And if you don't want to create that, you can just go through the contents page. It's just 2 pages long. You don't have to read the report, just do those content pages. And thirdly, I think the third source was definitely the economic survey. I followed the economic survey of this year as well and the last year as well, because I was preparing for this exam that year as well. And in that, I didn't read the entire economic survey. Again, I read a summary given by the coaching people. And in that, the thing about the economic survey is that you can not only refer to quote the things in that survey just in the economics paper, but in fact in every relevant paper. For instance, I think not this year but last year, I don't remember, they gave a recommendation on the pendency in the Indian judiciary. And I think a year before that, they were discussing about the meta-son preference scenario. So these are the things which you can mention in GS1 or probably GS2 papers as well. And therefore, economic survey becomes a material of very accessible fodder for very relevant stuff. After having discussed the resources, a very important question regarding preparation is how to go about preparing for current affairs. Now this was a question and this was an issue that I've dealt with a lot. I'll start by saying that yes, read your newspaper very thoroughly. I read the Hindu newspaper, you can go for Indian Express, whichever suits you. And for the interview, you can refer another newspaper, the TOI or the Indian Express. And I would suggest that probably you can also go for reading your state-specific news as well. For instance, for me, I'm from Punjab, so I used to read 2 or 3 state pages news of the Tribune. And since Delhi also features in my DAF, so I used to read the first 2-3 pages of Times of India as well. So probably you can do so in a similar fashion. And but the elephant in the room is that कि करंट अफेयर्स जो है न्यूज़पेपर से पढ़ते हैं उनके नोट्स बनाए कि नहीं बनाए. So everybody have different opinions on this, and I'll just give my own view. I've actually tried making notes from the newspaper, I think around nth times, and every time probably I have tried that, I have failed at that very, very miserably. So I would suggest that do whatever suits you, but for me newspaper, making notes from the newspaper was pretty difficult, because firstly if I'll make notes, then वो एक बहुत बड़ा bundle बनेगा, I'll never revise it. और अगर notes बना भी लिए और फिर revise भी कर लिए, the issue was that कि जब आप monthly magazine पढ़ेंगे तो फिर वो same ही चीज़ आ जाएगी. Your effort will become redundant. So my approach then shifted to reading the newspaper very, very thoroughly, and after I have read that, I would read the monthly magazines, I would learn them up, because and इसमें newspaper का क्या फ़ायदा है, that it will give you a better understanding of the monthly magazines. अगर suppose कोई issue हो रहा है, suppose CAA या NRC discuss हो रहा है, if you just go straight away and read the monthly magazines, you will not understand the sensitivity of the topic. तो उसके लिए, उसकी better understanding के लिए, I think newspaper reading is essential. But yes, I did 2 extra things with respect to current affairs. For pre, I used to do daily quizzes of forum and another online coaching website. And जब भी मतलब there were some doubts or 1-2 extra points which I used to get, I used to jot them down. And the second thing is with respect to mains. I was pretty lazy in making notes of, as I said, from the newspaper. But for the main fodder, for the fodder for mains, especially for my optional, that is PSIR, I used to be very selective in clicking pictures of some editorials या कुछ ऐसा बहुत ही unique चीज़ जो I think probably newspaper में it won't come in months. So I would click pictures, and then finally जब pre and mains के time के बीच, I think for instance IR के I'll have 40 pictures all across the year, and out of those 40, I will probably select 10, and then I'll make short notes on them, because the problem will be that the rest 30 will become redundant eventually. So I think if you're making notes from your newspaper, be very selective in them, because ultimately आपका effort कई बार बहुत redundant चला जाता है. या तो monthly में आ जाएगा, या mains perspective से वो news will become pretty much stale after a period of time, right? अब आपने resources कर लिए, current affairs कर ली, तो the next logical step is आप ये सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन, इस सारे डेटा को एक लॉजिकल फैशन में अरेंज करें. इसके लिए नोट मेकिंग बिकम्स वेरी रेलिवेंट. अब इस पे भी अ वेरी प्रोमिनेंट डिबेट इज़ कि ऑनलाइन करें या ऑफलाइन या पेन एंड पेपर से करें. सो आई थिंक इट कम्प्लीटली डिपेंड्स ऑन यू. अगर आप एवर नोट यूज़ करते हैं, वेल एंड गुड, इट सूट्स यू, गो अहेड विद इट. आई एम अ वोटरी ऑफ पेन एंड पेपर, बिकॉज आई बिलीव एट द एंड ऑफ द डे हाथ से एग्ज़ाम लिखना है. बट इफ़ यू आर going for preparing online, then you should go ahead with it. बट आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट अगर आप भले ही पेन पेपर से कर रहे हों या एवरनोट यूज़ कर रहे हों, ऑलवेज ट्राई टू मेक 1 पेज समरी नोट्स ऑफ एवरी टॉपिक. एंड आई वुड से ये मेरी सबसे बड़ी लर्निंग है इस अटैम्प्ट में. द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज दैट आई फेस इन माई फर्स्ट अटैम्प्ट वॉज दैट जब मेन्स का टाइम आया था तब आई वॉज कम्प्लीटली इन अ पैनिकी सिचुएशन बिकॉज मेरे पास हर टॉपिक के नोट्स तो थे बट आई couldn't रिवाइज them एट द एंड. और फिर अल्टीमेटली सब हौच पौच हो गया था एंड आई couldn't finish my papers on time. So this was my learning in my first attempt, and this time for every topic in the GS as well as in the optionals, I used to write a 1 page summary of each and every topic. और ये last minute revision के लिए I think it's very very essential, and you should definitely try it too. And along with note making, I would also discuss the manner in which I used to make notes, but probably I'll integrate that with my answer writing tips. So I'll start with answer writing first. Now आंसर राइटिंग का सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन होता है कि आंसर राइटिंग करे तो कब स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए. So I'll give my own view. Answer writing I think shouldn't be started just when you start preparing, because कुछ knowledge base कुछ पढ़ लेना चाहिए. I think जब आपकी फंडामेंटल बुक्स एक बारी ओवर हो जाइए, फिनिश लक्ष्मीकांत, NCERT, शंकर IAS एक्सेट्रा, देन यू शुड शिफ्ट टूवर्ड्स preparing for your answers and answer writing. And इसमें I think test series play a very very important role, because once you go to your start writing 3 hours में 20 questions, like every one of us, you will also lag behind. 20 में से 11-12 questions होते थे, मेरे साथ भी यही scenario था. You will write a lot of your relevant stuff, but you should definitely not bog yourself down by this fact. जब आप over the month धीरे धीरे practice करेंगे and prelims के बाद जब आप उस momentum में होंगे, you will start writing tests automatically, very relevant stuff and in the required time period. And along with the importance of test series, I would also mention the fact that जो UPSC के टॉपर्स होते हैं, ये मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि इन्हें सारे आंसर्स आते होते हैं, मुझे भी सारे आंसर्स नहीं आते होते. The average is, I think, out of 20 questions we hardly know 13 and 14, but 13-14 करने से तो I don't think काम चलेगा. So you have to write 5 to 6 extra questions as well. So that is it is that area where test series become important, because आपको ये आंसर just लिखना ही नहीं, आंसर बनाना भी सिखाएंगे. So that is the key difference which is created in the marks of selected as well as non-selected candidates, right? And another topic related to this is how to utilize topper answer booklets. Now many think कि तो advertisement purpose से है. I don't think so. मतलब topper answer booklets, I can vouch for it. I have utilized them in the most effective manner. Between pre and mains, I used to read a lot of topper answer booklets, and I can say that especially for ethics. And इनको utilize कैसे करना चाहिए? Topper answer booklets probably provide you with the stuff to ensure that अगर आप कुछ आंसर लिख रहे हैं, it helps you know that जो UPSC है वो सेम ही चीज़ एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं. For instance, what I used to do an exercise for the last year's ethics topper, which was probably ranked 33 at that time as well. So I used to read her answers. जो उनके answers, I used to read them. Then in 20-30 seconds, I will also think कि अगर मैं लिखती तो मैं क्या लिखती, and then I used to match her answers with mine. So इस exercise से you will try to emulate their written answer style as well. You don't have to literally copy it, but आपको समझ आ जाएगा, you will get the knack of it कि answer कैसे type के answers UPSC is awarding in a much better sense. And now I'll probably give some sort of the framework in which I used to write answers, and in that very same framework I used to prepare my notes as well. So for every answer or for every topic which I used to do, I followed the very basic thing which everyone does, that is the IBC format of introduction, body and conclusion. Then for instance, let's take an example of the Election Commission. So the introduction of it, for every topic, always try to make an introduction that is, I think the definitional approach, मतलब कहने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, the definitional approach is probably the most simplest and probably the most effective way in which you can probably introduce your answer. So in Election Commission, you can use the Article 324, or for any other topic, you can use a basic definition. Or you can use some sort of fact, figure or rank, which becomes very effective, I think, in the GS3 paper as well. Or probably you can also go for the use of the GS specific introductions. For instance, for GS2, like I said, this is a GS2 question, you can go for the use of articles. You can quote articles in your answer. Then the body, this is the main thing. Now before discussing it, there is a question about whether you should write your answers in point form or in paragraph form. Now in case of optionals, I would always suggest, mine was PSIR, I always wrote in paragraphs. But in case of GS, I think point form probably is better, because it helps you cover a lot of dimensions and a lot of pointers in just limited words. And of course, paragraphs, I also used to use them, but whenever content की कमी होती है, then I'll use to make the answer look much more verbose. Sometimes I used to use paragraphs. And of course, you can use flowcharts and diagrams as well, because they sometimes break the monotony of the paper. Because examiner है, इतनी सारी answer sheets check कर रहा है, he's reading words and words. तो अगर एक relevant और logical सा भी diagram आएगा ना, तो थोड़ा मतलब it becomes एक sort of change आ जाता है answer sheet में. And yeah, and then I'll give how would I prepare the body for a given answer. Then every question always has 2 or 3 parts in it. For instance, question में ये नहीं आएगा कि write a short note on Election Commission. Question ऐसा आएगा, in the present scenario or in the recent elections, the Election Commission faced certain challenges. Describe what kind of steps can be taken that would make the functioning of the Election Commission more robust. So in this sort of question, there are 2 or 3 parts. The first part is Election Commission, of course. The second part is the challenges faced. And the third part is the reforms that are required. So I would suggest, जब भी आप कोई question पढ़ें, try to divide it in 2 or 3 subparts. और हर subpart पे relevant content लिखेंगे, तो you can easily fill up 2 to 3 pages. So divide your question in subparts and answer each subpart accordingly. Now in the body, when I used to prepare notes, I had a very fixed format, which was that I would collect all the causes, first issues. I would discuss the challenges associated with that given issue, that for instance Election Commission के क्या challenges होते हैं, that the election commissioners beside the CEC do not have security of tenure, और मतलब ऐसे 3-4 challenges हर topic के आप collect कीजिए. फिर challenges के साथ you can discuss the causes of these challenges. मतलब causes क्या हैं, वही आप उसको differentiate कर सकते हैं on the basis of political, economic, social. This is not relevant for this topic, मतलब बाकी सारे topics के लिए. After challenges and causes, you can discuss steps taken by the government. You can quote the schemes, the government initiatives or government reports, and then you can mention the steps required. आप अपने suggestions दे सकते हैं. In general, हमारे तो कोई suggestions नहीं होते हैं. So in that, you can incorporate the government reports or the recommendations of certain commissions like the Law Commission or the NCRWC, etc., etc. So after that, you will conclude. Now almost for every question I had a very basic conclusion ready, that either I would include some sort of recommendation in that to make my answer look much more hefty, or my favorite sort of conclusion was to incorporate SDGs. So I had memorized a lot of SDGs, just one line, SDG 1 ये है, end poverty, SDG 2 ये है, 5 gender equality है, and in every other paper from 1 to 4 I used to use SDGs literally. And if you read my answers, SDGs बहुत जगह कोट हुआ है, because it is a very ready-made source of order. And अगर कुछ recommendation भी नहीं आती, SDG भी नहीं आती, तो मतलब my end source of my go-to conclusion was that I used to include words like holistic, comprehensive, multi-dimensional, multi-stakeholder as these words in my conclusion, because जो हमारी government machinery है ये ऐसे type के words use करते हैं, so it will give a very balanced type of conclusion कि हाँ मतलब सब regard में लेके ये conclusion लिख दिया है. So this was not just my format of answer writing, this was also my format of preparing my notes, because I think notes आप answer अच्छी स्पीड से तब लिख पाएंगे if you have your notes organized in a systematic manner, and always try to keep your introductions and conclusions ready for a given topic. Now after having discussed I think note making and answer writing, I'll probably come to a few quick tips on prelims, because it is approaching, and I think prelim was never my forte, to be very frank. And till now I am terrified by the idea of giving prelims again. And so for me, preparing for prelims is a very big task, and I am not those sort of person who जो 2-3 हफ्ते पढ़ के prelims निकाल लेंगे. So my strategy was that 2 to 2.5 months of dedicated prelims preparation is necessary. So I would suggest that a little more than a month is left for the October 4 prelims, and all of you should be in the groove to prepare for it. And prelims से जो मैंने सीखा है इस बारी वो ये है कि it's not just about finishing your syllabus. I had done that almost in my first attempt with respect to pre, जो basic books थी वो complete कर ली थी, current affairs ऊपर से कर लिया था. But what I lacked in was that strategy to solve the questions. आपका purpose ये नहीं है कि knowledge गेन करके क्वेश्चन टिक करना है, योर पर्पस इज आपको कैसे भी करके आंसर निकालना है प्रीलिम्स का. एंड व्हाट आई डिड दिस टाइम वाज दैट फर्स्टली, सी आई वुड गिव यू एन इंस्टेंस ऑफ इट. फॉर इंस्टेंस एनी कैंडिडेट, अच्छा कैंडिडेट, बुरा कैंडिडेट, आउट ऑफ 100 क्वेश्चंस आई थिंक ऑन एन एवरेज एवरीवन नोज अराउंड 40 to 50 क्वेश्चंस. प्रॉब्ली लेट्स टेक एन एवरेज ऑफ 45. किसी भी प्रीलिम में आई डोंट थिंक 45 क्वेश्चन से ज़्यादा किसी को फॉर श्योर आते होंगे. सो टेकिंग अ 90% एक्यूरेसी ऑफ इट, आई थिंक इट विल बी क्लोज टू 40 क्वेश्चंस करेक्ट. सो 40 आउट ऑफ 45 क्वेश्चन आपके करेक्ट होंगे, तो आई थिंक अगर कैलकुलेट करें तो आपका स्कोर अराउंड आएगा, आई थिंक अराउंड 77 मार्क्स. एंड आप 77 मार्क्स पे आप कहीं नहीं लैंड करते हो, मतलब यू आर फार अवे फ्रॉम एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ कट ऑफ, अगर वो कम भी हो, 100 से बिलो भी हो. तो आई थिंक जस्ट बाय स्टडिंग यू कैन नॉट क्लियर प्रीलिम्स. जो कहते हैं कि हम 50-60 क्वेश्चन अटैम्प्ट करते हैं, वो सिर्फ नॉलेज नहीं होती. आई थिंक उसमें सम अमाउंट ऑफ इंटेलिजेंट गेसिंग बिकम्स वेरी वेरी नेसेसरी. तो ये इंटेलिजेंट गेसिंग कैसे करी जाए, तो इसमें आई डोंट हैव अ वेरी ओरिजिनल स्ट्रैटेजी. Everyone suggests, and I did a very similar thing, that जो आपके आंसर, जो आपके questions हैं, divided into 3 iterations. In the first iteration, I would do the questions I'm 90% almost sure of. Those would be in the range of 40 to 50 questions. And then second iteration में I'll do the questions in which I'm 50-50. I would try to ensure कि around 60-65% accuracy आए. And in the third round, these will be almost wild guesses, and this would be I think around, अगर दिन बुरा है कि मतलब फर्स्ट और सेकंड राउंड में ज़्यादा नहीं हुए तो थर्ड राउंड में ज़्यादा करने पड़ेंगे. अगर बाय आई थिंक इन द फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड राउंड आई एम रीचिंग 75+, आई विल डू 8 to 9 in the third round. But always try to ensure कि third round में you don't end up in the negative territory. लेकिन I think in out of 4 questions at least एक correct होगा, you will be in the neutral zone. क्योंकि अगर आपने ज़्यादा incorrect कर दिए तो it will not be of any use. But I feel that कि अगर आपने इतना पढ़ लिया है तो subconsciously you will correct the right option, or you will have probably a net positive gain in the third round. और फिर यही सिनेरियो आता है कि अगर आप 3 राउंड कर रहे हैं तो अल्टीमेटली कितने क्वेश्चंस करने हैं, तो दैट यू हैव टू फाइंड योर ओन ऑप्टिमम. फॉर मी इट वाज अराउंड 85 क्वेश्चंस. सबका अलग होता है, सम से उनका 75 है, अदर बाकी कहते हैं कि उनका 90 या 90 प्लस होता है. यू हैव टू फाइंड योर ओन ऑप्टिमम नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन, जिससे +- 3 और 4 आप करेंगे. एंड वो ऑप्टिमम नंबर रीच करने के लिए आई थिंक यू शुड डू अ लॉट ऑफ टेस्ट. मतलब आप टेस्ट करेंगे तो यू विल नो कि फर्स्ट राउंड में हाँ मेरी इतनी एक्यूरेसी आ रही है, सेकंड राउंड में हाँ गड़बड़ हो रही है तो मुझे इसमें इस तरीके से काम करना चाहिए, और फिर थर्ड राउंड में तो मेरे गेसेस तो बिल्कुल ही ख़राब जा रहे हैं तो मुझे इनको डेफिनेटली कम कर देना चाहिए. सो बाय डूइंग दैट यू विल रीच योर ऑप्टिमम नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन जो आपको फाइनली अटैम्प्ट करने चाहिए. माइन वॉज 85. मैंने फर्स्ट अटैम्प्ट में आई थिंक आई डिड 86. दिस टाइम आई डिड 88. देन आफ्टर रीचिंग योर ऑप्टिमम नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, बात आई इंटेलिजेंटली गेस कैसे करें. सो there are a lot of tips and tricks which everyone suggests that कि extreme options eliminate कीजिए, all options correct नहीं होंगे. अब ये एक तरीका है क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने का, एंड आई टू अडॉप्टेड दिस टाइम. लास्ट टाइम नहीं किया था बिकॉज आई ऑलवेज फेल्ट कि क्वेश्चन तो आना चाहिए ना, मतलब ऐसे ये ज़बरदस्ती निकालने की बात होती है. बट आई रियलाइज दैट कि अगर पेपर क्लियर तो करना है तो ऐसे ही क्लियर होगा, और कैसे होगा. सो I use these so-called intelligent guessing tips, and I think the best way to analyze these sort of tricks is to refer to the UPSC previous year question papers. आप 2013 से लेकर 19 के सारे question papers लीजिए और उन्हें thoroughly analyze कीजिए कि what sort of patterns are being used, and if you can do so then probably it can give you a net benefit. Because I think you should probably understand the psychology of UPSC. Their purpose is not to judge your knowledge through prelims. They judge your patience. They judge the fact that whether you can arrive at a given option in a logical manner. सब कुछ आने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है. If you can arrive at an answer in a logical manner using your own hypothesis, then I think it is good enough as well. And the third important aspect of prelims is that you should never commit silly mistakes. That is ticking the incorrect option. गलती से ही कोई और टिक हो गया, या OMR शीट गलत बबल हो गई, या यू आर नॉट रीडिंग दैट नॉट करेक्ट वाला ऑप्शन जो बोल्ड में होता है. आई थिंक यू कैन नेवर एवर अफोर्ड टू डू सच सिली मिस्टेक्स. अगर आप ये कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक आई वुड सजेस्ट कि टेस्ट सीरीज प्रैक्टिस करिए. मैं क्या करती थी, आई यूज़ टू ऑलवेज राइट डाउन ऑल दी सिली मिस्टेक्स दैट आई यूज़ टू कमिट. अगर गलत ऑप्शन टिक हो गया, आई राइट डाउन कि गलत OMR बबल हो गई, एंड whenever I'll go to attempt the next test, I'll read the 3-4 mistakes that I was continuously making. और फिर फाइनल डे पे जब आप जाएंगे, जो आपकी ये गलतियाँ होंगी ना, ये आपके सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में स्टोर हो जाएंगी, एंड आप ये गलती आई थिंक कभी भी कमिट नहीं करेंगे. And I think that is all for pre, and I would come to the last leg of my topper talk, and that is some sort of man ki baat. I feel that the philosophy of this exam is based on 2 things. Firstly, it is about simplicity, and secondly, it is about maintaining averages. Simplicity in the sense that it should not just be in your answers, it should also be, I think, in your preparation. Answers they are not looking for fancy stuffs, pompous words. They are looking for well structured answers, and they just want to know that if you are in that headspace, आप अपने कंटेंट को लॉजिकली और अच्छी तरह स्ट्रक्चरली अरेंज कर सकते हैं. एंड फॉर दैट आई थिंक आंसर्स में सिंप्लिसिटी इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड प्रेपरेशन में सिंप्लिसिटी कैसे लाई जाए, एज आई previously told, डोंट क्लटर योर सेल्फ विद रेफरिंग टू एक्सेसिव बुक्स एंड रिसोर्सेज। अगर आप अपनी प्रेपरेशन को सिंपल रखेंगे और अपने आप को स्ट्रेस में नहीं डालेंगे 10 डिफरेंट बुक्स को रेफ़र करके, आई थिंक यू विल बी इन द लीग टू क्लियर दिस एग्ज़ाम इन द शॉर्टेस्ट पॉसिबल टाइम। एंड आई थिंक एंड जो मेरा सबसे फेवरेट एस्पेक्ट है दैट दिस एग्ज़ाम फेवर्स एवरेजेस इन द सेंस दैट आप किसी भी फील्ड के हों, अगर आप बाहर से पढ़ के आए हों, आप आईआईटी के हो, आईएम के हों, या आप इतने अच्छे बैकग्राउंड से भी ना हों, या आप पूरी लाइफ एक एवरेज स्टूडेंट ही हों, द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस एग्ज़ाम इज़ दैट ये आपको ना लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड पे ला देता है। इट डजंट बॉदर कि आप फर्स्ट अटैम्प्टर हैं या आपकी लास्ट अटैम्प्ट है। इट इज़ नॉट बॉदर्ड बाय दिस फैक्ट। इसमें ये एग्ज़ाम ही ऐसा है कि इट विल ऑलवेज create a level playing field, and इसमें जो averages होते हैं ना, it will always pay you off. By averages I mean that you should study with a balance. You should not devote unnecessary time to a subject which is not necessary. For instance, world history में normal law पढ़ते रहो 2 हफ्ते, I don't think it will pay you off. Instead, I would suggest आप security issues कीजिए, जिसके 4 शॉर्ट अच्छे questions आप लिख पाएंगे अगर आपने at least 1 week security issues को devote किया हो. So I think averages are very important, and जैसे I'll give my instance, all my life I've always tried to maintain averages. अभी हमारी marksheet नहीं आई है, but I am almost certain that with the rank of 33, I'm not going to probably top any of the main papers जितने भी 7 हैं, but I would know कि मेरे ख़राब भी किसी में नहीं होने वाले. So I think अगर आपको ना इस रेस में आगे आना है, ऐसा नहीं करना कि आप एक पेपर में ज़्यादा परफॉर्म कर लें और दूसरे में तो बिल्कुल ही ख़राब कर दें. अगर आप सबको ओवरऑल ओके टाइप वाली कैटेगरी में रखेंगे, आई थिंक तब आपके लिस्ट में आने के चांसेस बढ़ेंगे. एंड द सेकंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इन दिस इज़ कि मोटिवेशन कहाँ से लाएं. आई थिंक एवरी वन ऑफ अस प्रॉब्ली एंटर विद द सेम सेंस दैट कि मतलब आपकी पब्लिक सर्विस में अपने आप को डिवोट करना है, एंड दैट सेंस ऑफ सेटिस्फैक्शन दैट यू गेट इन सिविल सर्विसेज इज़ कम्प्लीटली अनपैरेलल्ड. आई टू हैव द सिमिलर मोटिवेशन, बट अगर प्रैक्टिकल साइड पे देखा जाए, जब आप एक बुरा टेस्ट लिख के आए हों, तो आई डोंट थिंक कि ये जो मोटिवेशन है एनी रेगुलर पर्सन में ये वापस आएगी. सो आई थिंक उस शॉर्ट टर्म हम यूजली ह्यूमन बींग्स आई थिंक बहुत ही ज़्यादा फिकल और शॉर्ट माइंडेड होते हैं. तो आई थिंक फॉर दैट पर्पस यू शुड ट्राई टू मोटिवेट योर सेल्फ ऑन अ डेली बेसिस. व्हाट आई यूज टू डू इज़ दैट अगर सपोज टेस्ट दे के आए हैं तो फिर पिज़्ज़ा पार्टी कर लो, और फिर अगर सपोज़ एक पोर्शन ख़त्म कर दिया, लक्ष्मीकांत का 20% ख़त्म कर दिया, तो आई विल बिंज वॉच अ फ्यू लाइट हार्टेड सीरीज़. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट अपने आप को डेली बेसिस पे खुश कीजिए. अगर हर रोज़ स्ट्रेस डालेंगे कि देश सेवा करनी है, वो आप यू विल गेट एम्पल अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर दैट वंस यू सिलेक्टेड. बट जो हर रोज़ पढ़ने की मोटिवेशन है, यू वुड रिक्वायर दैट शॉर्ट टर्म मोमेंटम एज वेल. एंड उसके साथ साथ आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट अपने सपोर्ट सिस्टम को भी स्ट्रॉन्ग रखिए. आपके फ्रेंड्स हैं, फैमिली है, उनके साथ रेगुलरली कांटेक्ट में रहिए, टच में रहिए. फॉर मी माय सपोर्ट सिस्टम वो डेफिनेटली माय पेरेंट्स. एंड टू बी ऑन अ लाइटर साइड आई वुड से दैट कि कई बार जब मेरा मन नहीं करता था पढ़ने का, एंड उनकी ही सेंस ऑफ डेडिकेशन और इन्वॉल्वमेंट इस एग्ज़ाम में देख के आई वुड थिंक कि चलो पढ़ ही लेते हैं. इफ़ दे आर पुटिंग सो मच एफर्ट, तो आई शुड ऑल्सो नॉट बैक आउट फ्रॉम दिस. एंड लास्टली आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट ये जो एग्ज़ाम है ये बहुत लॉन्ग ड्रॉन है, एंड इफ़ यू आर कॉन्टिन्यूसली पेसिमिस्टिक, इफ़ यू आर कॉन्टिन्यूसली क्वेश्चनिंग योर सेल्फ, आई थिंक इसमें आगे बढ़ना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. वेदर आपका फर्स्ट अटैम्प्ट हो या लास्ट हो, इट डजेंट मैटर. इसमें आपको कॉन्टिन्यूसली अपने आप को मोटिवेट करना है. तो माई फंडा वॉज दैट कि आप अपने आप के फेवरेट बन जाओ. मतलब इफ़ यू स्टार्ट केयरिंग अबाउट योर सेल्फ, इफ़ यू स्टार्ट केयरिंग अबाउट योर टाइम, I think you will always prioritize your studies in this exam. So lastly मैं यही कहूँगी कि आप अपने जो हॉर्स के ब्लिंकर्स होते हैं वो डेफिनेटली लगा लीजिए. लेफ़्ट राइट बिल्कुल मत देखिए, आप अपना एम सिर्फ UPSC क्लियर करने पे ही रखिए. So that's all from my side. I would say all the best to all those who are appearing this October for pre. go and study very, very hard and stay calm and do a lot of work. So all the best everyone. Thank you.